search functionality, Command T on Atom, I believe Sublime is the same and Visual Code's the same. So what it will do for you is it will recursively search through your application fairly quickly, and you don't have to type the full path. So if I just put ROU, boom, routes, and I'll pull the routes file. If, however, I knew that I was looking for a particular controller, I can do, what's the folder structure here? App, controllers, and then issues controller. I can use super lazy. I can put A for app, right? Con for controllers, and then guess what? I for issues. Come on now, there it goes. And it'll just search kind of by the spaces in my folder tree. So if I know where it is, I can pull it up super fast. Cool? It's powerful. All right, great. So we talked about routes. And what is the RESTful route for the index for, which one should we start with? Teen or issues? Why teen? Teen has the has many, right? Let's think this through. When I build the form for it, is there anything extra or special I need to add to that form? What do I need to add to that form? Nothing, because I'm not really creating association with that. I'm just creating the object. Which one actually creates the association? Right, it's the foreign key that will attach the relationship to the teen. So issue really is kind of the more important one to focus on right now as it relates to learning something new. Does that make sense?
So we start at the bottom?
Let's just start with issue because we have like 20 minutes. So I'm just gonna work that. Cool? All right, so let's start with the index for issue, right? What is the RESTful route for index for issue? Get slash issues slash index JK, right? Just kidding. Cool. And this route, is it do? Cool. So remember, the route, if I hit it, this is how Rails works. This is very important because this is the most important part of Rails, what I'm about to explain to you, that you've heard several times before. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to hit a route. It doesn't matter how I hit it. In the browser, in the URL, in the form, in a link, in a button to, I will hit a route. The first thing Rails will do is it will go, does that route exist? And then if it exists, it will need to know what to do once I hit that route. And the controller will tell it what to do. So what controller do we want to associate with this get to slash issues? Right? The issues controller, specifically what method? Why does it look weird? Like this? Like that? Yeah? You like that? The highlighting helps you, right? It just looked wrong. So if you forgot, you can always do my favorite thing, Rails routes. Cool. And then you just do one of these moves over here, and you're like, all right, there's a get somewhere. Wow. 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 Right? You can reference anything you want. Cool. So I just got to get rid of that. Cool. Do I need anything else after this?
Optional.
Right? Completely optional. And that is the helper. Cool. We'll talk about that later this afternoon. Maybe today. We'll see. Cool. So now I can do what? Can I go to slash issues?
Yes.
What will happen?
Nothing.
Not nothing. Try again.
There's no error.
Who is confident that they know what will happen? What is the error that will happen? We all agree that there's an error. Well, think about it, right? How is Rails working? Does the route exist? Yeet.
No, you didn't refer to your server.
Oh yeah? That's actually not true. It's Rails 4. Rails 5 will auto-populate the routes. Powerful. Bless up to Lord Rails. All right, so the route exists. Check. And it points to a controller action. Does the controller exist? Yes. Cool. Does the action exist? Let's find out. Huh. Okay? Wow. Wow. What should I do now? Cool. All right, is this starting to make sense? All right, so now this will do and need to do two things, right? It needs to interact with the model, and it needs to send back a response. Sometimes you don't actually need to do anything with the model, and the response, if not explicitly told, what will Rails inherently do? It will do this. It will render whatever the name of the method is. It will render the name of the method. So if I had something like def ya boy, right? What will this render? It will render ya boy implicitly. You'd be surprised how many people will tell me this will render index. I'm like, no. Not everything renders index. You know what renders index? Index, yes. Cool. So, it's Matt, right? I'm going to start saying that, and there's going to be a lot of people that are not going to like me. So cool, it's going to render index. Can I make it render anything I want? Yes. Watch, let's get obnoxious. Bloop. Anything I wang. Nice. Nice. Very good. Very good. All right, so in my views, actually, matter of fact, what should happen now in this index action? If I refresh, the route to get to /issue should do what? No view template of what file? Index? Right, there it is, right? There's a template issue missing inside anything I wang. Very good. Cool. If I get rid of it, it will try to find what? Index. Cool. Yeah? Starting to make sense? Are you understanding this general flow of Rails? So great. Do I need anything from the model?
Yes.
A question?
Does Rails, like you have folders in your views that say issues and teams, does Rails know to go into those folders based on the controller name?
That is correct. Rails will automatically see the issues controller. It will see there must be an issues subfolder in views. So when you Rails G controller, it will actually generate an empty subfolder named after the controller. And that's why it does it, right? That's what Rails is looking up. So if I were to put the file under teens, even though the name is correct, will it find it? It should be no, because it's looking under the issues view. Even if I had teen at a file of index, it will still not find it. It needs to be under the issues folder. Cool? So let's do that little index action. And this is not part of the lesson, so it's not important, right? Indexor, right? And then what do we really need in the index? What does the index do? Okay. Right. It displays all the issues, right? Issue.all, little quick query action. And then how do I get this into the view? Right, little issue action. Cool. And now, you're right. Caught me. Yo, teens caught me tripping. So in my index, do I have access to something called @issues?
Yes.
It's not, right? Yes, because I created the instance variable here. So in index, I have something called @issues, right? And how many issues will this be? How many? Right, more than one. Yeah? So can I do issues immediately .name or description? Because I can't call description on a active record collection proxy. I thought I was going to say array, right? Nice try. So why doesn't this highlight? Because it looked like a Ruby, right? So let's fix that real quick.
We've been saying that every day.
And what does Mike Cheng think?
Oh, he loves it. He says the last day, he kept saying it too.
Corrupted. All right. So now we have the issue object, and we can call like description, right? Okay, that was annoying. Let's just take care of that. Cool. Issue description, right? This also look like a Ruby, right? So what should I do? Should I leave it like this? Leave it like this?
Yes.
Leave it like this?
No.
All right. What's the difference?
Squish. One.
The ice cream cones, the squid, whatever. Like basically, if it has the equal, it will display on your page, right? If it does not, it will evaluate and not display. Cool. So what should we see here if I refresh? Just the description, right? Homework and crippling insincerity, right? Boom. Any questions on index, instance variables, Rails routing, the general flow of Rails? Yeah.
If you have an index and maybe there's only one in there and you want to set it up to display the one, or if there's more than one, you put that logic in the ERB.
More than one?
Like what if you just have one entry in your index database?
Correct. So check this out. Ready? Let's just say I had one item in my database, right? If I do issue.all and I had one issue, what should I get back? Try again.
An array with one.
I will get a active record relation, right? So I get a collection proxy, so like an array. And how many items are in that array?
One.
So can I still dot each through the array, and then when I do output, how many will display?
It'll still work.
Yeah, it'll still work. Yep. And if I had 0 and I dot each through this active record collection proxy, this array, what will come out? Nothing, right? So that's why the classes of the objects are important, and this code will scale. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Thanks, man.
Here for you. Marco. All right, cool. So let's move right on to the meat and bones of this, right? And that is I need to do two things. I need to go the new, and I need to go the create, okay? All right, that was weird. So in the new action, do I need anything from the model? All right, we'll see about that. See about that? Cool. So in the new right now, you say, nah, nothing, right? And what is the response here? Render, I can do anything I want, right? I can say like, I don't know, issue form. Eat. Right? And what do I need to do now in my issues? Issue form eat. Dot. Bet it up. Cool. Ready? Well, H1, little new issue with the tissue. Right? It's for crying. What the? All right. Okay. Didn't expect it to take a dark turn. Just a new issue object. All right. Great. And again, do we have gets.chomp here? It's mod 1 in the past. Trash. So how do we, no, I'm just kidding. Like CLIs are cool. So what do I need here to get the user input? Little form action. Do we want the form tag? Cool. Can I just use regular form here? All right. Let me explain something to you. So the answer is yes and no, right? Yes, I can in fact do this, but Rails will automatically reject it because I do not have the authenticity token. You guys go over this already? Yeah. Smart. You can add it, right? Great. But let's use the Rails helpers that will build HTML for us. So do we want a form for or a form tag? Why for? It is easier and it is better. But what does it do for us specifically that we like or would want from this feature set? Form for does not associate by itself. It creates the nested hash for you, and the form for as a default route will hit the RESTful create action. It will post to /object. So here the object will be at issue. Cool? and then there it takes like a little f block, right? That looking like a ruby. Should I display this form or no? I have to display the form because remember what this builds for me. It builds the form tag. Do I want this to show up on my HTML? You're darn right. Of course I need this. But here's the weird thing. Do I have @issue here?
No, you want to stuff in the controller. You need to do
I did mess up. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Cool. Does this make sense why we do this? And we're not pattern matching. We're not like, oh, I've seen it look like this, so that's why I do it. It makes sense. It's more like I'm doing it. I know why I'm doing it, and I can adjust this as necessary.
So, quick question. Is it more convention to do like that? That's the way that I've seen it done before. It's like do issue that new and we'll put it in the ERB file instead.
Ooh. Yeah. So you're talking about right here?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, all right. Let me explain. Cool. And what I'll do is I'll wrap up this explanation. I'll finish this form 4, and then I'll leave you on like a little cliffhanger so we can all go to lunch, right? So, thank you. Thank you. I'm considerate of the stomache. So, the issue.new here. This is of MVC, what? Is it the view, the controller, or the model? It's the model, right? Remember from the literal only lecture I gave you, right? MVC, yeah? What does the model do? The model interacts with the database, right? So this is going to be like the .new, which is trying to like maybe create an instance, the .create that like actually saves the database, the .find, which queries the database. And what does the view do? Yeah, it just sends back the response. This is the actual response. This is the HTML, right? And what does the controller do? It's the in-between. It communicates between the model and the view. This right here is the model directly inside the view. So that kind of like makes the controller feel a little left out, right? We need this middle manager. We need to overpay him or her. And we need this person to do their job. So we should, in fact, use the controller to interact with the model and the database. Cool? There are lots of security reasons for this. And if you're interested, it's a great blog post, and I will send you some resources that you can link into. But the model should not interact with the view directly. Cool? And that's the pattern for security. Also, if you don't do that, it violates the single responsibility principle, where the model doesn't just do one thing anymore. The controller just doesn't do one thing anymore, and the view doesn't do just one thing anymore. And once they start to blend, you replicate data, and that's also bad. Cool? So, great. Cool. All right. Let's end that form, right? And then what do we need for this? Absolutely. Little f.label action. And what were the attributes again? Wow. Thank you. I hope people make fun of you when you make type. So what is it? Description. And then? Severity. Okay. And then? Teen ID. Smart. Cool. So let's do this. Ready?
Do you have to do a link, or can you just do like outside of your squid, just the labeling, and before you do the text filling?
Say again?
So I've seen like sometimes that instead of like doing label severity, they do like severity, a colon, and then they do the text field line. They just leave it outside.
What do you mean? Leave it outside.
Like
Before the squid, you just write.
Oh, got it. Yeah, I will. I'll address that here in 2 seconds, right? So, sorry. Is it text field?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. Might be. Ugh, trash. Try to get fancy, and I done goofed. Cool. Number? And we want this number too?
Yes.
All right, let's take a look at what this built for us. How can I possibly see this form? Should I just go to like form, please?
New,
1/new. No, it's an issue.
1/new
issue slash
issue/new. What's gonna happen?
you should get a form.
You sure?
No, it's issue.
First thing Rails does is checks the routes. And then, do I have that route?
No.
Absolutely not. So let's fix that. I need issue/new, and that is going to go where? To the issues controller, specifically what? The new. Cool? So in my issues controller, do I have a new?
Yes.
And so it'll hit this, right? And then I have an issues for my form, yeet. Very good. I almost read that wrong. I read that wrong. And then there it is. This could easily be new, but I want to show you that once you understand Rails, you do whatever you want. Who feels okay with this so far? That's pretty good. Great. And there it's not. Weird. I forgot the do. Very good. Do. Derp. All right. Do. Cool. See that highlighting? Powerful. And there it is. So the question is, instead of putting this, can I do something like description? Right? And then it should look the same. It should look the same. Is that kind of what the question is?
Yeah.
All right, so check this out. Yes, there is a massive preference one or the other. I will explain why and then I'll let you go to lunch. All right? So if we look at this, right, have you seen the inspector before? All right, so check it out. Yes for styling, but more importantly, look at this. I have an input, right? This is my authenticity token. This is just a blank string hanging out in the open. This, however, is a label. The difference is for accessibility, 508 compliance, for screen readers, it will not know what this is. But if I put a label for, it will understand the next input that matches that name. It will say, hey, the next thing is going to be an input. And it's going to be for the issue severity. So that some screen readers can help those that have accessibility issues actually use your website. With this, it will be confused. Also, you can't style it. There's no like classes or IDs or anything to this. So even though it looks the same right now in bare bones, the preference is definitely with the label. Did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Awesome. Are there any quick questions for the moment right now before I pause and break for lunch? Great. I will let you know when the next lecture is, when we can continue.